Okay, it seems to be back. All that's still good. There was like a weird thing where like it started flickering on down here, and I think it's because my bitrate just pretty much since the beginning was just like trash. But it seems to be fine now. It's still not telling me how to get like reflect. Let me see real quick. So it's a level 5 white magic spell. So I mean, I'm looking at the wrong thing. So here. So there's white magic 5. It only says it's dispel in Stona. Double checking. Okay, here we go. So is a time magic spell. Oh, 1 second. Okay, so after a quick Google, don't do that. After a quick Google, it looks like I need a red battle mage or a time battle mage, which is Beautiful. Because I have a black mage, I have a white mage. I do not have either of those battle mages. Can I look at licenses that I don't have? Yeah, so this is who I need for Reflect. And I also didn't check to see who casts Dark either, which I'm going to guess is the red battle mage. Right? Let's see. Where's their spells? That's the annoying thing about this, is you have to figure out what part of the path actually fucking has the spells in it. Like, oh, here's an entire list of mad mystic armor and shields. But where's the spells for this spellcaster? Guessing here. Yep. So they have Death and Dark Guh. Cura and Rise, Decoy and Oil, Slow and Immobilize. Darka. Oh yeah, so Dark right there. And then Dark Guh there. Regen and or Poison Arrow / Sleep. Resilience. So all I needed was one of these, huh? Because there's Reflect. So literally just having one battle mage. Just a red battle mage. That's all I needed. Okay. You know what? I'm close enough. So let's go back to town. I'm literally just like a couple of stops away from town anyway. It's like, I think in this direction, yeah. Let's. Oh no, he doesn't seem to mind. So we're just gonna leave him be for now. Yeah, we're gonna head back to town and we're gonna see. Oh no, come on. There we go. Because that is mildly annoying. That, like, I could have swore that what I needed was just a straight up black mage. Am I going the wrong direction? No, actually, I'm going the right direction. The amount of XP is kind of pitiful. There's Ravenasty. Okay, so I have to go. Let's speed this up a bit. I'm trying to remember how to. Speed. There we go. Okay. So I have to go all the way back to Mont Blanc, who should be, no, back this way. I'm gonna slow down. There we go. So Mont Blanc is in the guild, which is like all the way back this way. Fun! We are having so much fun! Okay, so the guild is not this, right? This is... What are you? Gambits. The guild should be up and around this way, I think. I'm trying to remember based almost purely off of 3-year-old muscle memory. That looks guildy. Little person. Yeah, Clan Hall. Okay. So now up to Mont Blanc and Be like, hey, can you change license? So who do I want to change? I think I have to once again change Pinello. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Change it. Okay. Yep. Okay, it's been wiped clean. Fill a new license one. Thank you. Okay, so now we go in. Go licenses. Pinello. And she now gets to be a red battle mage. Okay. So now she's a red battle mage. We go in, and now we have to start grabbing. Yeah, because I need to go up and get that, so straight line up. Okay, and then we need to work our way over to arrow. Boom. Okay, so that's the important spells got. So, because now we have dark, I just need to get something that can actually cast it. I believe I have to go somewhere and like specifically buy it. Then we have reflect, same thing. And we have arrow, which I already have. So, good. Good. I will also grab this one for the convenience of having that. And this, because it's cheap. This as well. We also need to start looking for, like, the health. The health increases and everything. Which are... nowhere to be seen at the moment. There's usually like a pocket of them. So far all I saw was that one. Ah, no, there's some over here. So I guess I can kind of start working my way over. I should probably grab the maces as well, so that she can have weapons to use. I'll tip over here so that she can then also have a shield that she can use. And get her War Mage so that she can gain MP after dealing magic damage, and so that she can beat stuff harder, and so she can wear a mage's habit. I think that that's good for now. Well, it has to be because literally she has no more XP, and we have no money as well, so that's gonna be fun. But we also need to go through and equip her with stuff, because right now she's unarmed. And we have no weapons that she can use. She has shield licenses. Is it because it's like equipped to someone already? Yeah. Except for Round Shield. Round Shield's not equipped on anyone. She can use it. Helm. I can give her a cotton cap. It gives her something. I can also give her a mage's habit. Or a cotton shirt. Mage's habit. And all the accessories are also currently occupied. Oh, poor Penello. Poor Penello. Like, all of her HP upgrades and everything gone. Oh. Actually, I should have checked to see if the clan had any hunts to do. Or do I have any hunts that I'm currently not doing? That's a good question. Did I turn it in? Yeah, hunt reported to Tomage. Okay, Skyfire's done. Fun. So I guess I will hop back into the clan just to see if there's any hunts I can do to gain some cash or something. When you've defeated 2 marks and accumulated 700 clan points, you will gain a rank. Cool, I guess. Blanc. Any new marks? No. Okay. I guess I'm just not far enough into the story or something. Even though, you know, it feels like we're super far, but this is like one of the longest Final Fantasies out there. Yeah, if you don't count the straight up MMOs. Because the straight up MMOs are like super long. Okay, so this is the Gambits, which we do not want to look at the moment, and that's just an exit on that. No, it's going somewhere. It's probably going to the other side of the clan thing, yeah. So we're going to go and take a look at how much it would cost to get the spells I need, and then maybe see about potentially selling off some items. So what's this? Technics. So no, need to go to the other side. This one should be spells. Yeah, medics. Alright. Let's see how much things will cost me. Ooh. Ouch. And I believe I already have someone that can use arrow, so it's fine, but ow. Then I have to get dark. So that's 500. Let's sell some stuff real quick. I don't think I need these anymore. Okay, so that gets us 780 to use. So then we have some stuff to work with. We need dark, ideally. And we need reflect. But this place doesn't even sell reflect. Okay, we'll get dark. It gets us dark. I can do protect. Doesn't help much, but eh. Same for shell. That's annoying that this doesn't even sell fucking reflect. They have immobilized and slow. We'll leave it there for now. That way, I don't think I have to equip it to anyone. I just needed to have the licenses to actually use the damn things. Let me see. Equip. Mew. And she's still unarmed. Like, she needs a catalyst of some sort. So I guess we have to hop over to the weapon shop and hope that they have a cheap weapon that she can actually use. Which is down this way. So there's shields, swords are over here. She needs like a mace or something. Just something that isn't nothing. If she's gonna be fighting birds and shit, she needs something. So they have the mace. They have a wizard's staff, but no one's able to actually use the damn thing. They're all super expensive. Like, what's the cheapest mace that we can get her? A mace. Yeah, that's still 550 bucks. Yep. Okay, so we'll see about getting her a mace. A super cheap mace. Just something that we can use to grind is like the key thing. But sadly we have nothing there to sell. We can sell the cotton shirt and the round shield because for some reason she can't use the damn thing. Oh. Everything okay? Dang it. And the bitrate's saying it's okay. It doesn't seem to actually be doing it on the stream. But it was like blinking down here. It seems fine. I think it's just Elgato not liking being full screen the entire time. It's annoying. So annoying. So she has the buckler, so she should be good there for now. Again, we just need stuff so that she can grind. She just needs to be able to grind. So that should be enough to get her a mace. Unless she can use the cherry staff. Nope, she can't. Longsword, silver bow, mage masher. But nope, she gets just bog standard mace. And it gets immediately equipped so that she has something. Something so that we can go out and grind. Because sadly that's what's going to happen for the time being while she, well, is in such a weak state. And also while we have literally no money. So we have to go down to Ravenaster South to leave through the south exit if we want to even start our way towards Demon's Gate. Luckily, we should be able to potentially chain towns. So like we'll grind on our way to a town, go to a town, and whatnot. So like going out there to the Giza Plains, I'm gonna have to actually leave to check that, so zip our way through. Sadly, I believe chocobos also cost money, so helps us not. So here, there's something flashing over there. What is that? There's actually two things, so we could potentially go there. Let's do that, so we'll hook over this way. Especially since I think we are actually going the wrong way. Oh, what the... Oh yeah, I forgot about those things. Not worth much, sadly. I think it's just pointing to the Thunderstone. Yeah. Or to the Dark Crystal. Because I think that was part of like a side quest or a story quest or something that I did. So, yeah. I think we are going the wrong direction because I don't remember. This exit doesn't look familiar. I think it was supposed to be the west exit that I was supposed to take. Not the south one. Fine. There we go. Keep it simple. Let things die. Okay, so yeah, I think I have to go to the Westerland exit. Because that's where... Because I went straight up the last time. Which I believe ended up taking me over towards the eastern exit, which was the wrong one. So I think it's this one that I need to go to. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like the other exit, so just gonna have to leave, see if it looks familiar on the outside. Yeah, this is the one. Although it's like unexplored. Okay, let me... So why am I going out this side? Oh, because it's the fastest way to get to there. Okay. Yeah, the only other town is Nalbina Fortress up north. Everything else is nothing. Nice. Yeah, because I need to get all the way over there. I'm currently in the Dalmask Westerland. Sorry, Westerson. Then I'll go to the Augriensa Sand Sea, which I think is where I popped up after the mines or something? Something like that. I have trouble remembering the story or what's happening. So this is going to be fun. But it gives us a chance to grind a bit. Regardless. She now has at least one of the spells we need. And I believe Ash has the other one. Let me double check that. She might have the other one but not be able to use it. Which would be fitting, I guess. Or she just doesn't. Guess where she had like one of the things I needed. Unless it was like, oh, it's in like one of the side things, maybe. I'm just not seeing it. It's not in the north stuff. It's not. So pretty much everything's on Pinello, and all she has access to... Well, actually, let's see by going through... her magics. Black magics. So she has arrow. She can use arrow. And she can use immobilize, sadly. And she can use dark. So she can use dark and she can use arrow. But no reflect. So that's the only thing that we're missing is reflect. Which sucks, but it's whatever. Okay, so I guess we'll just explore. And just try to gain some XP. We'll kind of do a straight shot for now. At least, you know, try to. But we'll just kill things here and there as we go. Killing birdmen and wolves and stuff. I do also have to be careful because I believe during my grind once I kept dying. Oops, I accidentally hit fast forward and killed everything. We got wind stones and stuff. That's, I don't know, maybe something. And hey, $50. That'll help us. Oh yes, it was actually around here. Yeah, fighting this, I think, is what killed me. No, it seems to die fairly fast. It's already dead. Ooh, but 69 experience. Hell yeah. That... Okay. The hell? Okay, this is not what I was expecting. Let us... She should theoretically be able to cast Cure on it. Not on... Nope. 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 Oh, is that not a thing in this game? You can't target the enemy? Oh, well, she needs it, because fucking guy's just absolutely wrecking her. Oh, crap. No, not you. You. White magic. Cura. Yes. Cura, luckily, is one of the things that goes to, like, everyone. Okay. For a second, I thought she, like, exploded into a poof of just dead, just gone. Okay. Let us continue after that interesting experience. See, like, bird people I can handle. But random skeleton guys? Oh. That random skeleton guy, like, really packed a wallop. Oh, dang, I'm just leaving items behind. I can potentially sell these. we'll probably have to. If I'm going to be able to afford literally anything. I mean, it's that bird. That bird's the one that's problematic because it, well, it flies. It's really hard to kill flying things. And it's right by the exit, too. So we're just going to slip past it. Okay. So we need to uncover this area slowly. And hopefully be okay. Oh, didn't need to target it. So we have another lightning horse. Whatever the fuck these things are. I vaguely remember potentially fighting them at one point. At the same time, I don't. Worth 71 experience, though. Hell yeah. Like, dang. Good experience from these things. Where's the lightning horse? Come on, lightning horse. You must die. And there's another one of them. Yay. Ooh, level up. Oh, good. She needs that. Did that actually... Okay, good. And it actually provided her with, like, a decent, like, health boost. Good, 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 good. I'm definitely willing to go out of my way to kill you guys, because you're worth 75 experience. Like, in the grand scheme, not worth too much, but... Like... Anything's better than 4. Or 6. God dang it. And a high potion. Good. Okay, we might have to attempt to tackle that bird that's over there. It's just really hard because, like, no one I have is, like, properly ranged. But we'll give it a shot. I see it. Oh, it does that, which is very problematic. So we'll go here. Oh, he is silent. Items. Phoenix down. Vaughn. And then we're going to just flee. We're going to flee. Our best option is down here. And we should be fine. Yeah, we're in a shop. We're good. Should probably use a high potion on Vaughn. And switch to him. There. Luckily, there is a shop here. Oh wait, no, he's... I guess I'm heading out west. Oh, you're not a shop, you're just a guy. You're a shop. No, you're not. I'll still talk to you. Gonna hold off for a second. You're the shop. There we go. So you've got some good stuff, but I still can't afford you. And I can't sell anything to you. I could buy the unassuming surcoat, but we'll leave it at that for now. Goodbye. Let's see if I have any teleport stones. Not in key items, not in loot. Oh, actually, I might be able to sell him loot. It's always the thing I forget in like Final Fantasy games, that a lot of times you do just get garbage you can sell. Yeah, like I have 12 wolf pelts. Let us give you those. Take them. And I have wind stones. Take them. And large feathers. Take them. Earthstone. Take it. Bone fragments. Take them. Succulent fruit. Take it. Stormstone. Molting. And firestone. And look, now I have more bizarre goods I could get. Not that they would help me. But with that, I should be able to actually buy her a much better mace. So boom. Yes, please. And now she's not gonna, die of bad. I can sell her crappy mace to make back some of that money. Beautiful. Thank you, sir. You saved my life. I do believe that does mean that I actually don't have any teleport stones. Let's see, items. I have Dispel Mote. I do have Reflect Gun Mote. So that might get me through it. Other than that, I don't have a teleport stone or anything, so whoopsies. I didn't grind any. Which, to be fair, I wasn't expecting to. Sadly. Yeah, so then I guess we just continue on our way. I didn't save. I should have saved, but that's fine. Oh, my lord, I forgot about this. Yeah, I forgot about this. It's gonna be a relatively straight shot, but oh boy. We have to traverse through all of this. Boy. Here we go. We begin the long trek. Oh, but yeah, with these guys being like worth so much. Yeah, so I do remember fighting them. At the time, they were terrible, but now they're not bad. So that's good. Okay. Because with them being worth like 60, 70 XP, hell yeah. Every day. What's this? Nothing. So we just have to work our way through and around all of these platforms again. So it's going to take some time, but we'll get some XP. We'll grind our way through. And I believe the chests might have also like repopulated, so I'll probably nip over and grab that chest. And sorry that I'm leaving the map up, it's just for convenience. Like it makes it easier to see where I need to go. It's pretty straightforward in this area, but it starts getting a little bit more complicated as we go. And we'll see how long we've been streaming once we actually get back to the temple. We might have enough time for one attempt at the boss. I mean, technically I have all the time in the world. As long as you're okay with it being silent for portions of it. Which I think will end up being potentially funny if, like, I start doing a victory thing. And I'm just miming it. Like... Oh. Do not want to drop my controller. The dogs are being loud again. Okay, so go through here, go around here, and across there. Okay, it's fairly straightforward. It's just like it's a slog. I like exploring this area initially. Great fun, good old fun time. Oh, these guys. I remember them being not great. Yeah, look at how much damage they're doing to me. It's because they have like haste on them. Or something. Okay. Not too bad. I didn't check to see how much like they give me experience. I have to go over here to get across. Now you can see like kind of why I need to have the map up, because you can see just how big the map is in this area. Like obviously, you know, just follow the bit that you've already explored and whatnot, but there's a lot. Let me go over to Pinello, have her cast Cura, have him attack this guy. Boom. If that keeps up, I'm gonna have to go see what the dogs are barking at. Okay, so we just gotta cross the front here. Gonna have to kill this guy, but it's all good. Should probably see about having her cast like a dark magic. Actually, that wasn't bad at all. Oh, and they're worth 91. Hell yeah. If I wasn't in such a rush to actually get to the temple, like I would definitely grind them. I just re-attack the same guy. That's fine. Oh, and the third one's gonna work its way over. Oh, unless it just reaches the end of its... Yep, reached the end of its realm. But this one's gonna work its way over. It's nice to be able to grind a little bit. It's fun. Okay, now where are we? We're close. We just have to work our way around these into the next section, and we're we're off to the races. Okay. I want her to use arrow. Nice. It works really well, and I'm excited to actually try it on the boss. Okay. I'm gonna have, well, I'm gonna have her cast just plain cure on Vaughn. So there's not too much like strategizing you can do. Like a lot of it's just to kind of move back and forth if you want to potentially dodge an attack, but other than that, it's not like there's like a dodge button or anything. Alright, so we are on approach to the last little section of this fairly long section. And there's an exit to the back way. There's a potential... That's the exit. Nothing there. A few guys here. While I'm here, I will see about having her cast arrow. Specifically on him. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. The fact that it's able to like just straight up kill like 5 people, that's cool. Shame that we don't have Reflect. It does kind of suck, but it's fine. What I think is more of a shame is that we don't have any teleport stones. So that sucks. But we're about to exit this area. Now I do remember that there's like a little bit of a wilderness-y area that we have to trek through for a little bit. But otherwise, we should be fine. We'll figure out how bad it is in the next section. Shouldn't be too long, though. Well, I mean, hey, there's a crystal here, so... Big ups. And yes, I do want to save, because we've made 54 minutes of progress, and that is good. Although, I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. I do realize that, like, also my cam is in the way of the actual map, so... Not for me, actually, but, like, for you guys, it is. Okay. Let's take a look at how bad this area is. So to get where we need to go... It's not terrible, but it sure as hell ain't great. Okay, it's not... At least it's not quite as sprawling as the other area. This one's a little bit more linear. But I guess like a little bit more potential of like just death. Death and destruction. But we were able to save and heal up and re-up Penello's MP. She's going to be our main healer for the time being. Ah. I'm so excited for Final Fantasy 16. I'm just waiting ever so patiently for it. I'm very sad that they had to delay half a year. Well, technically it wasn't a delay, but like they were put back half a year worth of progress, which sucks. Like that's really sad to hear. Like the stress of it, I can relate to, because technically same thing kind of happened to me in college. Just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be done by this time. Cool. Oh wait, I have to add on a semester, and I need to take a summer course. Great. That's just more time for me to learn, I guess, that I don't get to fully use. Once I get more like job experience in stuff, I'm definitely gonna try and find some way to use my degree. That's like my biggest goal, is like just use my degree. We shall see how that goes. Not mists. There we go. Phoenix down. Vaughn. Okay. Then we'll go back to Vaughn. And yeah, we're working our way the right way. I believe it's okay because this is like the area I was grinding in the missing stream. So it shouldn't be too bad. If I remember correctly, in this area there's like adamantoises as well, and they should be like worth a ton. We'll see, I guess. They're certainly not currently in this area. Ooh, good. Replaces one of the tufts I lost. Oh, and that... Get away. Yeah, there's something that I won't try in my official, like, game of Dark Souls, but I found it, and I found it very interesting, and I would like to try to do a run through Dark Souls at some point, where I just do that, and it's the money duplication glitch. Because I think that that would be kind of fun to see, like, what I can do, like, over-leveled in a Dark Souls game. Because, you know, with, like, Final Fantasy, there's that, you know, joke or trope or, you know, thing that, oh, if you're having a problem with X, Y, or Z, just grind. And technically that's a similar thing with Dark Souls, but at the same time, not. Because with Dark Souls, you know, the bosses are hard regardless. Like, you can kind of grind the problem down. In fact, there's some ways to just, like, make enemies not hard. Sometimes by just, like, using and abusing the game slightly, you can just, like, walk through bosses. Like, I've seen some insane videos of people like, oh, you know, if you get this specific thing and do this and fiddle around with some stats, yeah, you can just kind of absolutely trounce every single boss. But yeah, like, I think I'm gonna try the item duplication, or the souls duplication glitch sometime, just on my own time, just to see, one, if I can actually pull it off, and two, see what some of the bosses are like if you do just, like, massively increase your strength and other stats. Because supposedly there's, like, no actual level cap. I just don't know how early on I can do it. I probably have to play up to the same point I'm at right now, and then just kind of grind that area in order to buy a ludicrous number of items for which I can then use to pull off the glitch, which I believe the common one is arrows. But yeah, I'm also some of these videos I'm watching, they're like challenge runs and whatnot. So, like, oh, can you defeat Dark Souls with just the Thorn armor? Can you beat Dark Souls with, you know, only miracles and magic, or a bow and arrow? And they're really fun videos, but at the same time I was like, oh, should I do like a challenge run sometime? And I was like, could I? I don't think I personally have, like, the capacity to do that. But who knows, maybe sometime way in the future. Like, I still want to get through the first 3 Dark Souls games just in general. And I think I might be able to. So far, I'm quite happy with how things have been going. I know that there's going to be some annoying bits, like, you know, the backtracking, you get a specific item that helps you go through an area only after you've been in that area for a bit, kind of thing. Like, to traverse the lava area, you have to kill the centipede, which is, like, most of the way through the area. But I think it's going to be fun. And I need more people to, like, watch it so that I can get help with things. Not necessarily to be told where to go, though of course I would appreciate it. But mostly just to say, just so, like, I can ask questions like, is there a point to doing this? Yes, no. Do I need to do that? Yes, no. Like, something that has been bugging me for a little bit now, is there any point in actually, like, regaining your humanity? As far as I can tell, the answer is not really. Like, yes, there's some advantages to, like, regaining your humanity, but the major disadvantage, to me at least, but not to some, is you kind of open yourself up to being invaded. And I am nowhere near the level of skill I need to be willing to just be invaded. Because like that's a whole skill set I do not have. Oh, on another note, I have been watching some Elden Ring videos because of that open network thing that happened not too recently, but relatively recently. And I really want to get Elden Ring. It looks so good. Like, I was interested from, like, the beginning, partially because, oh, it's a George R. R. Martin's vaguely involved in it. That's kind of cool. Like, I'm not a big Game of Thrones fan, but, I mean, just, I'm a fan of crossovers. And, like, that's neat. Like, the Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, like, interactions. Like, that's cool. Because, like, the Silent Hill game that they were working on and the Death Stranding that they worked on together, like, that's cool. Like, I want to see more cool, weird stuff like that. Just like, oh, you know, you don't really expect, like, these genres to fully, like, line up or anything, or them to have too much, like, interaction with each other. But when you do see it, you're just like, oh, that's just kind of cool. Alright, so now we are just this area, away from making it back to where we actually want to be. It only took us an hour and 8 minutes to do that. Of course, some of that was the pre-stream chat. Just me talking about things. Mostly what happened to Final Fantasy XII. Why did it take me 3 years to continue it? Because I find new and interesting ways to discourage myself from actually playing the damn thing. Oh, you're stuck at a boss? Okay, you just have to grind it out. Oh, okay, you found that the thing that you need to make the boss easier, you don't have at all. Oh, that's fine. Just get it. Oh, you can't yet? Okay. Oh, you can do it now. You can get it now. Oh, but because you keep going back and forth, you have now expended literally all of your teleportation stones. Good on you. Now hoof it back. You get to walk and grind along the way. So it's like a win-lose-win situation. Where in the end, like, yeah, cool, I now have most of the tools I need to beat the boss. I don't have Reflect, so it's gonna be a little tougher, but if I cast Dark on it, and then Arrow, it should do good. Sadly, I can't do Reflect, which would be the thing that would help the most, because anything it casted at me would then just be bounced straight back at it. But we do have a Reflect mote, which should help. So that should give us like the last little piece of what we need to to get it. Yeah, one of my goals, because so when 2021 was ending, I set myself some goals of things I wanted to do before the year ended. I was actually able to do a few of them, so I was relatively happy. In fact, I did one that I had set aside for 2022 specifically, and I didn't complete all of the things I wanted to do. One of them was like finish Final Fantasy X. I sadly was not able to do that. Another thing was finish Final Fantasy IX. I also did not do that. I did make some decent progress towards it though, but I didn't finish it. What the hell was that? Oh, an explosion trap. Fun. One of There was also to finish a book and to finish the backgrounds that I'm working on drawing, or at least one of the backgrounds that I'm working on drawing. I didn't do either of those either, so I'm not doing terribly good at. Did I go through the wrong exit? I did. And I triggered another explosion trap. Ooh. Yeah, we need a round of healing. But some of the things I did do. I wanted to finish the Lego Marvel's Avengers game. And I finished that. I wanted to finish the DLC to Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I did that. I finally finished the interlude episode of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I also ported over my PS4 save so that I could also technically say I finished the story as well. Again. And I made some progress on like working on some stuff in that. Oh, finally we're back. Oh, that's nice. We're finally home. So I was able to do some things. The extra thing I did, which I had kind of slated for 2022, was I finished the Spider-Man remaster, and that was a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting to do that. I platinumed the Spider-Man remaster, and then I finished all the DLC. Oh, I now have 2 teleport stones. Fantastic. So now if I wanted to teleport, I can. That's good. There we go. That's the sad pattern of like Final Fantasy games, is it does always, like, a lot of big JRPGs take me multiple years to finish. The only ones that haven't taken me multiple years, at least not anymore, are the Kingdom Hearts games. Like those, like Kingdom Hearts 1, it took me, like, it was like a journey of 8 years to finish Kingdom Hearts 1 for me. I only finished it just before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. Kingdom Hearts 2 I finished ages ago, and I'm able to finish it like in a week. Kingdom Hearts 3 I finished in a week. Dream Drop Distance, I actually streamed it over a period of like a couple months, something like that. Or like a month or two. So, like, but all Final Fantasy games, I have not beaten one except for Final Fantasy VII, which I also did beat in a week. Actually, it took me 2 weeks or so because I made it halfway through the game, then all my progress was lost up to a certain point. And then I had to like replay through the second quarter of the game again, and that was annoying. But yeah, so there's some stuff there. Like I would like to beat a traditional Final Fantasy game sometime, and I'm working towards. I'm very close to finishing 9. I'm about 2/3 of the way through, something like that, and I'm very close to finishing Final Fantasy X. That one I only have like maybe 5 hours left in it. I just need to beat this one boss, and then beat the multiple forms of another boss, and then I should be like on my way to the end. But meh. Let us go ahead and give this one more chance. And I'm going to just double check my save because I'm paranoid. Yes, good. I just needed to resave just to be sure. Because this could be the chance that we actually like progress. That's usually also the pattern with like Final Fantasy games is I'll leave it for like 3 years or so before I continue a game, and that's when I beat the boss like first go. Like Final Fantasy X, I for the longest time was stuck on the 3rd Seymour fight. I think it is. It's the one where he's like he has the thing that can petrify you, and then he just like shatters you, and he can chain that together. I was able to grind that problem out, but it did take me like forever to actually get the courage to actually try it. I actually ended up buying the PS4 version of it, transferring my PS3 save and everything before I actually attempted the boss again. And when I did, I finally beat him. I was so excited, so happy, and then I was actually able to make a lot of progress afterwards. I actually was able to like walk through the 4th Seymour fight easily, just like boom, he's gone. But like it's just my history with these games is that it does end up being like a bit of a problem, and it's smooth on stream, which is good, but like on my thing, it's like moving a lot slower. It's like it's weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and try the boss. We're gonna at least give the boss one good old go and see if we can do it. If we can, fantastic. We can then move on and actually attempt the fucking temple. If not, I might have to grind a bit and actually, maybe see what's going. But yeah, so on the actual streams, you haven't seen what the boss is like. You might have seen it elsewhere, but like you step here and then this demon's wall activates. I just realized I don't have any volume because I turned it way down ages ago for reasons. There we go.
Fight or run? We better decide fast.
So this one is optional. You can fight it if you want. In fact, I just can now cast silence on Vaughn. But you can go to this door and just avoid that one. You might have to end up fighting it like on your way back or something. I'm not sure. But according to everything, it's optional. This one is not. But this one you have a lot more time to deal with. And you can reset the boss encounter.
Must be quick. Together we can bring it down.
Now, you can touch the braziers, and it'll stop the Demon's Gate from like advancing. That's the only way that you can actually get to it in time. So we need to have her cast dark on it. I believe it's just randomized anyway. But it does hold its advance, so gives her a chance to actually cast the thing. And then we can line up her next spell. Well, actually, make sure that it casts. Okay, it did. And then go to Pinello again and line up her next spell of Arrow. Okay, it's beginning to cast Sleep, but it should... with any luck, we'll have any trouble. But the thing... Ooh, actually, she should be able to use the Reflect mote. What is she targeting? Okay, good. She's targeting. Come on, cast it. Okay. So it didn't catch in time, but it should be enough, and I'll have him... Eye drops? No. Princess Kiss. On. Alright, and now he can attack. Now he doesn't have reflect. Oh no, he does. Okay. And then we'll have Pinello once again use Arrow, because that did some decent damage. And I'll have Vaughn go back to the next thing and try to stop it. Yeah, good. Okay, and then have her once again cast. Oh, she's out of MP. Do we have an either? We don't. So it's now just try to beat it to death. That's all we can really do. And he has Technics. What kind of Technics does he have? He has Soul Eater, Wither, which should actually be good. Does he have any techniques? He does. What kind of techniques does he have? He has Steel. It's kind of useless to us right now. She has First Aid, which isn't needed right now. He has Soul Eater, which consume HP to deal damage to one foe. Deal range damage with melee weapons. Lowers a foe's defense, so we will use that. And I guess he just yeeted my leader into fucking another dimension. Great. Love it. You know, we just love being cast into the void. Is there anything that brings them back from the void? Handkerchief. Yeah, no, not really. And she doesn't have enough magic to do anything, and her only technique is First Aid, his technique, so... What health does he have? He has... okay amount. We're almost there. Like, we are ludicrously close to killing it. I wish that we had like an either or something. Like, I might check the shop. Like, if we do fail, I'll see about checking the shop to see if, this might hurt. Oh, but no, it halted its advance. See? I mean, of course, I did have to, like, do all of that effort just to get it to work, but finally. Oh, thank God. Vaughn's screwed. He's still just, like, in the void. So, who knows what's going on with him. That's cute. I forgot that it does this for boss fights. Like, any XP and whatnot gained from that fight is nothing. Was there? Yeah, he's still, like, X-zoned. I don't know how to get him back. I might have to, like, Google that. Like... Like, how do you un-X-zone someone? Yeah, I'm gonna Google that real quick. Now that we've finally beaten the demon wall. It should say within its strategy. Like, because it can do this thing, so it should say what the hell it is. So that's the location, that's the attacks, that's the magics. Is it Doom? I'm gonna guess it's Doom. Or Telga. It's either Doom or Telga that inflicts it. So, Doom inflicts Doom. So then that was not it. It was probably Telga? Yeah, inflicts X-Zone. So how do you get rid of X-Zone status? X-Zone lingers after battle and can only be cured by leaving the current area. Okay. Characters can cast Warp and use Warp motes on enemies to generate a similar effect. Okay, so it should be that I go into this next room and he should be there. He should just not be X-zoned anymore. Theoretically. Oh, it's flickering again. Okay. It just doesn't like being full screen, so I have to have like my mouse over the thing. I need to switch it back to my stream if I want to. There. Wow, this is a big place.
Incredible. It wounds me to look on as they pillage so solemn a place.
Yet without help, you and I are as nothing. Is this not so? He thinks ever and always on his own profit. Assure him of it and he shall remain true to our cause.
I do not share your majesty's trust.
We will continue this later. Now we should concern ourselves with finding the Dawn Shard. It sleeps in waiting, somewhere deep within.
How can you be certain?
I can hear its call.
I think this game suffers from a similar thing that my my Final Fantasy X run has. So my Final Fantasy X run, I made the dumb mistake of... So I renamed the main character, because you can, and I decided to leave like all the others the same. And I had... Like, I'm happy with the name that I changed it to. It actually surprisingly works very well, and that's kind of how I refer to him now. But for... I made the bad choice of renaming a lot of the summons, the Aethers, or Aeons. It's the Aeons. So I renamed the Aeons, and they... I renamed them way too similarly. So it's very hard to tell, like, which one's which. As for this game, the problem is that a lot of the characters look alike. So, like, Bosch and Vossler. They look kind of similar. And then there's another one that also looks kind of similar. So I don't know where the Waystone goes. Okay. So I guess this is just like the way out. So this one should probably teleport us farther in, maybe? Like, I mean, all the way back to where we came. Potentially. But we should be okay for the moment being. Ow. But I think that's going to be our way of getting through the dungeon. A little bit annoying that a lot of them are flying enemies. I might need to switch out to what's her face? What is her face? Nope. Fran. Switch out to Fran. Because she actually has like a bow and arrow. So I'm actually going to do that. So I'm going to go party. And we're going to take out... Yeah, so like Balthar, Bausch, and Vossler all kind of look similar. Like they're not, identical by any means. Like they obviously have their own distinct flourishes and whatnot. But they look quite similar. I'm going to go ahead and, for the moment, remove Bausch and put in Fran. Yeah. And everyone has a lot of upgrading to go through. So that's going to be fun. This is a big ass dungeon. Oh my god, there's so much to explore. And I can't save it until I get a crystal, isn't that right? Yeah. Damn. Oh, I just realized I actually do have like the map up. Like the big ass map is big ass up. The hell are those? This game has some crazy enemy design sometimes. Like at times this game just doesn't fully feel like a Final Fantasy. It's weird. Like the enemy designs and whatnot, like there's some like recognizable enemies, You can be like, okay, so it's like a redesigned version of X, Y, or Z. That's cool. But like sometimes you're just like, the hell? Like, what's this? This is a lesser chimera. Like what is it? A chicken with a bat's head or something? Like. Like, oh, we couldn't bring in the chimeras. We had to bring in the lesser chimeras. I kind of want to try to at least get this stream to about 2 hours, because the tradition for this game is that most of the streams were like 3 hours long. Like, if I wanted to, I could break each of those streams up into about an episode an hour, and like cut the episodes down to maybe about 40 minutes, maybe. And that's probably what I'll end up doing, because like I said, I do want to like go through and edit the stuff down, and the first thing I'm editing down is the first Dark Souls episode. Like, that one's not getting any attention on my YouTube channel, like Final Fantasy XII all the way. In fact, I will, like with the Dark Souls, I will immediately export this to YouTube so that it can flourish. Also need to double check the thing for episode 4, or the 4th stream. I need to stop moving this. Finish the stream, buddy. You can do it. Stop jumping to other things. Okay, so we have found... Yes, I guess we have to push this. Touch the jewel. Oh. The hell are these? Zombies. Fantastic. I don't think they appreciate us being here. There we go. Did that help us? Oh, it activated the waystone. Let's see where it takes. It should take us back to the beginning, actually. Theoretically, at least. Yes, it did. So now we have a way. Oh, it gave us a map of the area. Fantastic. I just accidentally skipped the map of the area. So I'm going to touch this one, see what it takes us. It should take us back to the beginning, before the Demon's Gate. Or Demon's Wall, sorry. And, yep. So I'm going to pop out, save, buy some items, pop back in. Yeah, perfect. So, first I'm going to heal. Then buy some items. Then we'll see about saving. Okay. So, he has some good weapons. Good weapons that would be good for us, but can't afford anything. Yet, at least. I probably have to go through the dungeon quite a bit to get anywhere. Yeah. How about armor? Can't afford. I can afford. It looks like he needs it too. But he's not currently actually in the party. Yeah, he's not currently in the party right now, so it doesn't matter. I do have more of these to flog. I have 45 of the earth stones to get rid of. I'm not selling the teleport stones. I need those. They shouldn't even be an option to sell them. Like, Jesus. Okay. You're not touching my goddamn teleport stones. I need them. Yeah, there's no ether. I don't know why they'd like to make ether such a rare item in a lot of these games, but they do. It's like, you want to re-up your MP? Fucking kiss my ass. Fuck you. I do 11 of these. I just sold 11 of them. Ow. I just sold 11. That hurts, actually. That hurts a lot. Ooh, do you sell Reflect? You don't. You sell Arrow, so that's nice. Gravity Rise, Aqua Disable, Shell, Protect, Blizzard. Ooh, by Blizzard. It's very tempting to get Gravity because it reduces HP of all foes in range by 1/4 of the target's maximum HP. So that could, like, really wreck a group, which would be good. I'm gonna get it. Like, that just sounds good. Ooh, and what's Rise? Yeah, I need that. And then I do need to... Wait. I am in buy, right? Yeah. So, a net loss of potions, but that's fine, I guess. Because now... Sorry. Now, in her magics, she now has Rise, so she can... We don't necessarily need Phoenix Downs anymore. Still only Sleep and Arrow and Black Magic. Immobilize, Dark, and then her Technic of First Aid. But, she has Fire and Thunder. And I can probably get her Blizzard. Because, in fact, before we save... Again, still annoying that there's, like, no ether. Dang it. Alright. So we need to go in and go licenses. And we're going to go ahead and do some upgrading. So she, for example... We can get her an HP increase. A much needed HP increase. Something that will help the ethers when we eventually find them. Okay, it's weird that, like, the stream's super smooth, but, like, Elgato's being, like, super laggy. I don't get it. Increase magic power when HP is critical. I don't need new maces. Oh, that's... Okay, so I didn't buy her the round shield thing. Oh, well. That will stay the case for the moment. Spell Stona, Death and Darkga, fire and poison. I mean, does she just have access to fire? No. She just skips straight to fire. Neat, I guess. Death and Dark, Dispel and Stona. And Sleep Fire. Yeah. Weird. I'll go ahead and get it for her so that she could theoretically just whoop ass. And give her the chance to get Dispel and Stona as well. Now we move over to Ash. We'll go ahead and get her this so that she can actually potentially use the thing. Same for this. Magic Potency. Either from Storm or 8 MP. Golden Amulet. Oof. Nordswind's Glow. I can afford this one. This Nordswind's Glow. She learned Mist. And then that one costs 50, so it's going to have to wait. Okay, Vaughn. Can increase defense when HP is critical. Yes. And we can... I mean, that doesn't do much for him. The magic stuff doesn't do much for him at the moment. That does. Okay. Balthier. I guess why not? He's gonna have just so much HP. You know, that's just what this corner of the world does for him. Just increases HP. He's not the strongest, but boy, can he take a hit. Can't deal shit, but he can sure as hell take it. Okay. And Fran. Fran. She cannot yet afford a ribbon, but can increase her strength when her HP is full. Increase her max HP. I can't afford that or that, but I can afford this. Fully consume user's HP, reviving and fully restoring HP of 1k. Ooh, that is a brutal one. So he kills her to like sacrifice to some. What's the other game that I was playing that does that? Crap, what was it? Oh, come on, what was it? It's like on the tip of my tongue. It was part of the way I got through like a lot of battles. What was it? I want to say it's Final Fantasy X, but it's not. Dang it, what was it? It was like... I played it relatively recently. Like, past month or so. But what happens in it is, like, when your character that you're playing, like, gets... It was Final Fantasy VII Remake. The DLC. When you lost all of your HP, your partner would sacrifice himself to restore your HP. So whatever he had left over would go into you. Yeah, I was playing that, and whenever like Yuffie would take too much damage and like die, he would then kill himself and like give you his HP. It was interesting. There we go. We're getting good HP ups right now. That is good. Shield block. Yes, you could use that. And access to shields. And access to armor would probably be good for you too, but at the moment, no. Can't give you access to accessories. Yeah, like, again, I really do like this game. It's fun. It has a lot of interesting like things to it, but boy howdy, do they really make it feel like pulling toenails to do anything. Like, oh look, I unlocked the ability to use all these spells. Yeah, but did you buy those spells? No, no. So like, cool. Or, cool, I can buy all these spells. I bought all the spells. Yeah, but do you have the proper licensing to do that? It's like, come on, man. Just let me magic. Like, it feels like they decided, because this, of course, being Final Fantasy 12, came after Final Fantasy 11. It feels like they wanted to move some of the MMO stuff into a single player game, and it's stiff, to say the least. Like, it's good, but boy, is it stiff. Like, it works. Overall, it does. It works. It is a functioning, fun video game. But it can feel super stiff and like pulling teeth just to move 10 feet in the game sometimes. Like before they added the update where you can change your class at any time. Before that, you could only do it at a very specific point in the game. It was like halfway or like very far in the game, and you can only do it once. And I believe you were also potentially starting from fresh to do it. I can't remember. You might have been able to like reassign it. I'm not sure, but if I remember correctly, I think you started fresh and had to then grind them back up to an acceptable level. But now you can just go talk to Mont Blanc and just change it whenever. I mean, sure, all their equipment becomes useless now. But, I mean, hey, it's not too bad. Okay, so I need to go to the bathroom and re-up my drink. If we're going to be continuing for too much longer, it would be a good idea for me to do that before we go through exploring an entire dungeon. So I will pop out and do that real quick. I will be right back. And I get to use this. I haven't gotten to use this in a while. So I'll be right back. Just a moment. I'm back. Oh, I did forget to actually open my drink, so. There we go. Alright, let me check something real quick. That's going to be loud for the next minute or so. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Then, you know, just for fun, I'm going to search. Yeah. There's only like 9 people streaming Final Fantasy 12 right now. So not a whole lot. And a lot of people are a lot farther than me. Like, I'm still in, like, desert. I got, like, sand. I do want to check. That's a pretty security breach. Oh, that's doing a lot better. Right now, Nathan is streaming Five Nights at Freddy's. So I'm just checking. See where he falls in the lots of people streaming it. Sadly, he is within the sea of people. But hopefully he finds an audience today. He deserves it. Jackson Bailey also went live. Jesus. Everyone's streaming right now. How can a guy compete? Let me see. Yeah, sorry if this is taking a little while. I'm just perusing. He needs to fix his lighting. God damn. I'll message him that way in a minute. I just want to see where he falls. I've reached the 1 viewer area. This is where he should be down. I see, it's him with a squirrel body. Just trying to find it. It's also just trying to let my thing sort of quiet down. Jeez. Let's see. He is... Oof. The problem is that there's so many people streaming it. And also he might count as having 2 people now watching. Now that I've hopped in. I don't know. Let's see what it says. Yeah, it says 2 people, so I'm going to have to go back up. It's fine. He's within the body. The body of people. But yeah, like Jackson Bailey's streaming, Super Butter Buns is streaming, Nathan's streaming. Jesus, I'm just out here paddling. Like, I've got 1 viewer. It's technically just me. There. Let's see what it says. Hey, now the Yogscast are also streaming. Come on. So many people streaming today. Oh. No, it's just my thing being a butt. Yeah, let me go ahead and switch over to the gameplay. There we go. There we are. That way you're not just staring at my thing and there's a void. I don't think he's noticed my message. If he has, he already like responded to it. Because you have it at a 4K resolution. I'll leave it. Anyway. Stop. Meh. Okay, I'm going to... Oh, Jesus Christ, that's loud. How's Jackson doing? He's not streaming Dark Souls today, so it's... It's not important, super important at the moment. But I'll keep him running. I need to, I guess, pop him in a separate window. Like so, and then have him over here. Gotta support your friends, eh? So I'll leave him running there. Click there. Click there. Okay. So, there we go. Have his stream running in the background, and we'll go ahead and continue with our stuff here. That should be good. And I need to also get the thing here so that he doesn't freak out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and continue our dungeon escapades. And I just realized I have to take the waste stone. And I also just realized that my stream seems... Okay, no, it's going. I was worried for a second there. Okay, so we are... So we touch the device. Yeah. I'm drinking a ginger ale. Help my throat a bit. What time is it? It's 4:07. Might have to transfer into some silent streaming here soon, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe you guys like it better when I just mime. Something I realized though, like I built it up. I realized like I was being a bit silly. I built up like, oh man, this is a fight 3 years in the making. It's something like that, and then I beat it first go on this retry. I reacted not at all. It's like, yeah, that's how it is, and how it was, and how it always shall be. But yeah, I built it up a lot, and then I just like I didn't react when I finally beat this 3-year-long thing. But I did try to mitigate expectations by, you know, stating up front like, hey, you know, that's just kind of how things work. for me is I'll just not react, or not that I won't react. That I spend 3 years like playing a game, and then like, oh, I'll be stuck on a boss. Leave it for 3 years. Come back, beat the boss first go. Because I usually know what I have to do. Like, oh, I have to go and grind for a bit. Like for Final Fantasy X, to get past the boss, I have like 3 options: struggle until I succeed, or just die, I guess. No, struggle till I succeed, or I go back and I watch. Not watch. What am I saying? I'm burpy. Ginger ale. No, I have to grind. That's what I mean. I grind for like ever, or I just don't worry about it. He's poisoned, so I need to use antidote on ulcer. Then move on. Oh, these are treasure chests. Sweet. Cool. Yeah, so like I had the like, oh, you know, the meh phase of everything. So I was just like, oh, you know, like, whoops. Didn't mean to be so bland in my reaction. I wish I was a little bit more of one of those guys that's just like, oh my god, But alas, that is not quite me. A lot of times, sadly, I do just kind of have a mostly bland reaction to most things. Like, I'll do... Like, if I get... I think in Dark Souls I'll have more reactions, because Dark Souls is like one of those things where, you know, you fight and fight and fight and fight and fight some more until you succeed. Like, I rarely have the yeah reaction. Most of the time, the kind of reaction I have is just like, like, I did it. I can breathe now, kind of reaction. Where, you know, most people, they'll have that, like, standing up, ready to throw their chair through a window out of excitement kind of thing. Where for me it's just like, oh, thank God, that's over. I can move on now. Like, I think the most reaction I tend to have is when I'm not winning. Like, when I'm fighting a fairly difficult boss and I'm going at it over and over and over again, like, I'll grip my controller tighter and I'll just, like, get bug-eyed and everything. Oh yeah, I forgot that she, like, auto-heals. Nice. I think I remember, like, my trip through the mine being fairly exciting and fun, because that was a struggle. Like, it was a race to victory, race against time to hopefully, like, succeed where success was not guaranteed. I had to, like, inch my way through the dungeon because I was, like, massively underleveled. And now look at us, we're going through a dungeon fairly, like, smoothly. It's good. Did his webcam die again? I'm gonna have to text him and see what happened. There we go. He might have been streaming for like an hour or so. I have no fucking way of knowing. Well, I guess I can check to see when I got the notification. Only at 3:57, so it hasn't been long. He actually went live the same time Buns did. I'm sitting at a bit of a weird angle, but it'll work. Technically, the better angle for me to sit at, framing-wise, would be this way. But, nah, I'm just gonna... Because this way I can see the screen, so let's see what he said. Alright, he's gonna stream again later. He needs to fix it. Because the game was running bad, and the lighting was bad, and he also wants to go to dinner. Okay. Yeah, the problem with his webcam is the lighting's terrible. Like, the lighting isn't great in mine, and I could fix it. The only issue I have is, like, I tend to, like, white out myself, and, like, there's glare everywhere. It's gonna take some fixing to get better. Oh, and the enemies got annoyed that I was just standing around, and they decided to come fight me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of hard setting up streams sometimes. Like, it's not terribly hard, but there's a lot of issues. He's using like I think a DSLR camera, like a clicky camera kind of thing for his webcam, and okay. And that runs off of battery. My webcam it's just a normal webcam. I mean, it's a special normal webcam, but it's still a webcam. It's a Logitech Brio. I got it for school. Well, for school was the excuse. Streaming is the other one. But yeah. And then, like, I have a ton of things that I want to stream and play and do. I probably won't ever, like, make any money off of it. I mean, I might down the line. The job I currently have gives me a potential of an opportunity to do it. The only issue is I'm an English language stream, and the potential opportunities I'll have as a time to stream is, like, late. Like, when most of the country's either thinking about going to bed, or when most of the country's thinking about, like, having dinner. Like, it's not great. Fran literally just used up all of her MP on me. There. But yeah, so we'll see how streaming works. Like, I might build a decent, like, foreign audience. Who knows? But, like, I'll definitely be unique in the fact that I'll be streaming in a lot of people's, off times. Because, like, at best, like, right now for me, it's like 4. It's 4:18. This is probably around the time that I'll be able to start streaming come next week. At best. Like, that's the earliest. Unless it's a weekend, in which maybe I'll be able to stream earlier. Or, like, my days off. As for, say, other times, like, there's a, like, depending on how I decide to do my days off, it's possible that no matter what, this is about as late as it'll be. Sorry, as early as it'll be. The rest will be, like, super late. Like, 2 o'clock here. So, like, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. Like, late. So we made our way through a half of the dungeon, I guess. Making our way decently through the next half. Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to actually... Because if Fran's going to keep, like, auto trying to heal me, we're going to have to get her MP up. So we're going to hop out and do that real quick. Yeah, so figuring out the times to stream is going to be a little bit difficult for me. But, like, me and Nathan do have, like, a lot of plans for streams. Like, he really wants to stream FNAF Security Breach, and that's what he plans on doing today. He started it, but it was running a bit slow because he was running it at, like, 4K for some reason. Which is going to slow down a lot of things. There we go. And I'll go ahead and save. Like, it's going to slow down a lot of things. But when he comes back, he'll probably stream it for, like, maybe an hour or two. He also wants to play Moving Out. And that's a multiplayer game. We plan on streaming that from beginning to end sometime. We don't know yet. We're kind of waiting on my scheduling to see if it lines up at all with his. Yeah, okay. So it's just going to, at that point, become a we'll see kind of thing. There should be at least some overlap, because I believe he has, like, 3 days off, something like that. He has 2 or 3 days off, where I'm going to have most likely only 2. Because originally it was going to just be part-time, but after going to orientation and discussing it, it looks like it might end up becoming full-time. Like, immediately, instead of, like, what my mom was saying, was like, oh, it might eventually become full-time. We'll see. I'll find out Thursday. So there's definitely not going to be a stream Thursday because I have a lot of prepping to do for orientation part 2. I really need to see about putting, like, maybe putting the webcam over there if I'm going to be sitting like this. Or there. I'm not sure. Something I need to think about. Because, like, with the way I'm sitting, like, it's not too bad, but I keep looking over here. And that's gonna... it's gonna be problems. So I might move it, like, over there, turn a bit this way. That way, it's still within range. I don't know, I'll have to see. Because this is kind of the comfortable position to both see this screen and this screen. And this screen, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might do that on the fly and after I open up the next shortcut. Which should be over that way. Yes. Over this way. I can go down and, like, do that, but I'm just gonna go over here. I'm gonna do it like I did the other side, just top to down. Might be the way I'm supposed to do it anyway. Who knows? How are we doing so far working through this dungeon? So we cleared out that entire side. And now we're about to head over to this side. Clear it out. And then I guess we'll just be given access to the next part. Or like we'll be cutscene over there. Who knows? Is there anything at the end? No. Okay, so we're good to close that for now. It's going to take me like a couple months to like properly get a potential streaming schedule down. Anything? No. So this way might lead to something. So we're going to go over here. Nope. Which should show me that yes, we're still fighting whatever the hell those things are. Yay. There's a lost soul as well somewhere. Okay, it's around the corner. It's one of these guys. Dang it. It's a skeleton. They're much easier to kill now, so that's good. Well, maybe not quite so easy. There we go. How much experience? 178. Wow. I'm excited for the prospects. It's gonna take a while to get used to things. It's gonna, with any luck, I'll do like some tentative streams next week and whatnot. Like, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours ish. Like, I haven't been playing for 2.5 hours, but I plan on at least clearing out most of this dungeon today. If not all of it. Oh, what are you? A lich. That's an interesting lich design. I will give it that. What did they cast on us? Just pain, it would seem. It doesn't look like it casted zombie or anything. Ever since Final Fantasy IX, I've been fearing zombie. Because at the time, I didn't know, like, what would cure zombie. I had to, like, Google it. Because it was a status effect that was staying. I wasn't sure, like, what the hell to do. Turned out magic tags were the thing. I was like, how the fuck do you get magic tags? So I then looked through my inventory. I was like, oh, I have like 3 of them. So I'm okay. Okay, so I have a Skull Warrior and a Lost Soul. I'm gonna do the Lost Soul first. So I have a feeling that the Skull Warrior is gonna be a little bit more tricksy. Okay, yep. Good. Love being blinded. And of course Penella is also blind, but she should, at least the way that most Final Fantasy games work, magic never misses. And it still seems to be part of the case, at the very least. Alright. So now we go and we need to use not Echo, not Gold, eye drops. Sounds like the neighbors are home. Oh, no, someone's home. And to be fair, it is like almost 5. Well, it's about 4:30 right now. Okay. Doing pretty good for money. Kind of. We get little bits of money here and there for things. Of course, we're within range of that guy. There's a skull warrior somewhere in the next room. Okay. I'm gonna have Penello, because it did seem to be quite effective. Use arrow. But they do have protect on, so not gonna do too much. I'm only level 17. This just tells me just how far into the game we are. Not very. And of course now the AC is going to start kicking in because it's getting colder. So yeah, the stream's going to definitely be ending relatively soon, because that I know gets really loud and it's about to get bad. So I'm gonna forge through for the next bit. But yeah, sadly no second stream today. But hey, we kept on a decent tradition of keeping the Final Fantasy XII stuff going strong. We made good progress too. We've actually made, like, in the pattern of the streams, it's not gonna look like much changed. I mean, except for, you know, webcam now and a lot of talking. Like, there wasn't too much of a massive like part where I was just silent for most of it. So that's good. 19 gil. But man, like, that AC's bad. I was very tempted to turn it off, but I couldn't find a proper time. Let's see, no. Yep. Oh, that didn't cancel her thing. Oh, I think it did. It's not too bad. Like, luckily with the thing, like, here, let me actually check my game audio. Like, they have protect and whatnot, so it's not going to do too much. Let me check my game audio. Just see how bad it is. Because to me, yeah, it's bad. It's annoying, sadly, but like, I can't do too much about it. The best I could do is maybe change the gain, but it peaks loud enough that it would be picked up, sadly. So this is the best we can do for the time being. It shouldn't run too long because it's a heater, so it goes until it hits a certain temperature and then it goes back. So it shouldn't be too troublesome. Plus, we shouldn't be here for too much longer. We're most of the way through this area, I believe. Yeah, we just snake through this area, through the last 2 rooms, and then we're done. And then we figure out how the hell we're supposed to go to the next part of this dungeon. Oh, so many liches. Luckily the lich is like not too hard to kill. Has a lot of these things have like long death animations sometimes. And of course he's been slowed. There. Okay, so we go down. And we should just have like this room. Yeah, like this room and the next one. And then we're done. At least I think. It's at the very least what I've been led to believe. Oh wait, no, we have to snake. I was about to point. We have to snake through the bit. I would point, but that does nothing. So we have this room, the room above it, the room next to it, and the next room. And then up, over, and then to the hall. Because I have to remember that it needs to connect out to the door that leads out of here. Yeah, so it's up there. Because we have to activate this module. Touch the jewel. Oh, it's like fully lowers the thing. Oh, I guess that leads is what leads us there. Oh, and it just spawned liches. Dang. Let's see if Penello's arrow will do enough to kill them. Oh no, she just missed. Oh no, I think he missed. Because oiled. Lovely. Oh, Fran died. Let's get Penello. White Mage. Rise. Fran. Then Penello. White Cura. There we go. That's not too bad. So where does this lead? Off the map. Just like straight up. There's a door. Yeah, like in the official map it's just not there. But in the mini map it is. So I'm guessing this is the way forward into the next portion of the dungeon.
Fog? Underground? Not fog. Mist. You can see the mist with your eyes? Where it is thick enough, you may. The nether runs deep in this place. So, is the mist dangerous? Yes, but it is also an aid. A dense mist allows the working of powerful magics. I'll keep that in mind. Can't count on Vaughn to keep track of these things. That's for sure.
Okay, so I need to use a handkerchief to clean up the oil. Right, that's the thing that... Yeah. Then on Fran as well. Okay, so this is just... Okay, no, this is the next part. So we just have to work our way around and then out. Down that way. Right? Yes. And there might be some extra, like, things, but... Yeah, there's treasure. Ooh, a blood sword. There's probably treasure in the level above as well. That looks very bossy, so I'm gonna see if there's like any other treasure around here first. Because this area screams, it's a boss fight. Have fun. Tough to Phoenix down. And I guess I'll do a bit of a circuit. Yeah, I'll do a circuit, but I'll do a fast-forwarded circuit once I check this alcove over here. Nothing. Okay, fast forward. Nothing. Yep, nope, nothing. Okay. I should have gone back and saved. But oh well. We'll give it a shot. Just means I might have to do some preparation. Seems very fiery. So, like, in theory, Blizzard would be good. I'm gonna try Arrow. First I'm gonna cast Dark. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna start with casting Dark. And then, sadly, she does not have... She doesn't have anything but, like, Fire, so we'll try Fire. And then we'll have... Is it him? Has the right techniques that I need? Yes, he does. So we will do Wither to knock down his strength. And then other than that, we'll have him just attack. This is going to be a tough one. I can already tell. I'm gonna have her cast Thunder again. I'll have her cast... I don't think Immobilize would work on it. So we'll try Arrow, see if it works. And then we'll have him... do Expose to lower the defense. Hopefully that works. Nope, it also missed. And then we need Penello to see about doing a Cura. Okay, so we need... What's his missed? Quickening... Gambits... What other techniques does he have? He has Traveler, deal damage based on total steps taken to all foes in range. I mean, we'll see. We've taken a lot of steps. Not bad, actually. Like that 700? It's not bad. What's his techniques? Steal. Well, we'll try stealing something. Hey, we stole an Ares gem. Not bad. She has stealing, she has first aid. And then Pinello, how are we doing for health? Overall we're doing fine for health, so I'll do arrow, see if that does decent. It does okay. Nothing too grand. Let's see if we can get him to do that technique again, because that was a good one actually. Quite liked it. It did like 700 damage. Okay, so this time it only did like 16. So if I can like switch over to Vossler and just like run around the arena, it might do more. But let's see if we can use any of his other techniques that aren't like bad. Deal range damage with melee weapons. Let's try that. Oh, plus it gets him moving, so that's good. But this isn't. This is very bad. Alright. Oh yeah, that's bad. So first and foremost, do that. And then we'll have Fran use a handkerchief on Pinello as well. First thing, and then have him use a handkerchief on himself. Okay. So far, so okay. And we'll do a high potion to Vossler. Because that was a toughie. We will have to have Pinello kind of on standby to do that again relatively soon. Let's see what other techniques we can have him do. We can have him do Soul Eater, but it consumes HP to do that. Wither and Expose both missed. So we'll try Telekinesis to get him away a bit. He's about to cast Fire. And then we'll have her cast Thunder. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it does like something. Then we'll have her cast Arrow. And sadly, he does not have much in the way of anything. See if we can steal anything else from him. Ooh, and I just noticed that we need to have Pinello cast Cura again. Okay, we'll see if he's done any decent traveling. And see if having him do Traveler will do anything. 8. Not great. What's his mist? Also quickening. And so just keep attacking. As long as we have like Pinella keeping things up, should be okay. Okay, so we'll have her. Arrow. Does a good multi-hit on him. Then we'll have her cast Cura. Oh, it's doing the thing again, which it's a good thing we got the Cura off in time. I think it's like flare or something. It's bad. Oh, it knocked her out before she could cast it. Okay, fleet. Okay. It's focused on me, so I'll have Fran do the important stuff. Mainly getting Penelo back up. Okay, now that Penelo's back up, we can have... No, not him. Have her do the Phoenix down to get Vossler back up. And then we need Penelo to cast Cura. Come on. Okay, it missed him because I think he accidentally walked him out of the area. Oh, that did like nothing to him. Like he took... Come on. There we go. Okay. Oh, she can only cast fire. She spent a lot of her power trying to heal. I know. We will have Penelo cast Arrow, and that should hopefully help finish off this boss. He's very focused on Vaughn. Okay, we're so close. We'll have her use a high potion on Vaughn. And yeah. So I was actually really worried that this was going to end up being like, oh, we were able to beat the one boss, but now we have this boss that we have to deal with. But luckily, no. We were able to get through and get this thing. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that worked. It worked. Oh! Yeah!
In vain glory they arose, shouting challenges at the gods, but prevail they did not. Their doom it was to walk the mist until time's end. A legend of the Nemo.
My family tells a story of the Dynast King and an Esper. The story goes that in his youth, the Dynast King defeated a mighty Gigas, for which the gods took heed of him. Thereafter, it was ever bound to him in thraldom.
So, all this time it's been here guarding the Dynast King's treasure?
Not so. The Esper is the Dynast King's treasure.
That's your treasure?
In this Esper we now command rests a power whose worth is beyond any measure.
Is that so? Call me old-fashioned, but I was hoping for a treasure whose worth we could measure.
Oh, see how close that was? Oh, God. There should be a save like almost immediately, but just to be safe, I'm gonna at least give him a high potion, because he needs it. Oh. Yeah, so that was one thing that told me, like, oh, we're still, like, very early in this game. The fact that this is the first summon of the game. Or in this game, they're Espers. Like, that was one thing that I was like, okay, like, it's taking a weirdly long time before, like, I was like, are there even summons in this game? It's a Final Fantasy game. Usually, yes, there are. And so, there we are. There's our first summon. So, we got it, what was it, like, 9 hours or so in the game. I don't know, we'll check how long this is when we get to a save, which should be at the bottom of this area, because this should teleport us out. Oh, she got some MP. But I think I went, yeah, out of range. Okay, so what's this say? By this return ye to the hall of the destroyer. By other means return ye back to this place. So I think this is like a one-way back. So I'm gonna see what's up ahead.
What's wrong?
Your Majesty, we must go.
What? Wrestler. You will be avenged.
Oh, and we got the Dawn Shard. Oh, and I guess during that she gained enough MP to heal me again. So I think that's all that's, yeah, around here. So now we are supposed to go to this teleport and get ourselves out of here. Dodgy. Dutch. And then that should take us all the way to the beginning of the dungeon and out. Right? Yes. So we pop back over here, touch the device. Whew. We completed the dungeon. It took us 3 hours, but we did it. So, Valley of the Dead. Yes. I'm happy with that. I'll probably end up leaving it off about here, because I still need to actually figure out what the hell I can't even remember what I'm supposed to do with the Dawn Star, or whatever the hell it was I got. Let's see. So, if we pause... Not that kind of pause, that pause. And then go world map. It doesn't say... Clan primer? Nope. There's a traveler's tips. What the hell? Okay, so I do have like a clan rank and everything. That's neat. The hell was it that I saw, like, my objective? Oh, there it is. Well, you've got the Dawn Star now. All we need is some fresh air. So I'm guessing I just literally need to walk down the stairs, and it'll probably trigger like a cutscene that'll tell me where I need to go. So we'll do that next time. Man, my nose itches. Okay. But that's where I'm going to leave it for today. A good 3-hour stream. Keeping up... keeping up the Final Fantasy XII traditions of about 3-hour streams. So... but yeah, so I don't know, similar to Dark Souls, I don't know when I'm going to stream this again. I would love to do it relatively soon, but I still need to figure out how my schedules are going to work. I think earliest, because today's Wednesday, the earliest I could probably stream next is Sunday. Maybe. We'll see. But other than that, I think we're good for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope to see you guys in my next stream. I hope to see more people in my next stream. The next thing I'll be streaming is Dark Souls. So if I stream on Sunday, it'll be Dark Souls. I've been itching for more Dark Souls. so I'll be doing that. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.